Very dangerous!
Are you kidding me?
Hey, what's up guys? Movie Maniac here. So whenever there's a movie that has an original storyline with lovable characters, it's hard to make a sequel to top the original. Now, I know that most of you guys keep hearing me say, oh, the sequel's better than the first, but here's the thing. Most of those movies are either books based on movies or comic book movies, or at least a movie that's mediocre, and I'm hoping that the second movie would be better. Like X-Men Days of Future Past, Captain America the Winter Soldier, The Hunger Games Catching Fire, Thor the Dark World. Whenever it's an original movie that's 90% good, it's hard to top the original. Like Ghostbusters, The Karate Kid, Back to the Future, etc. Only a few has actually accomplished to be as good as the original, like Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi. Or sometimes it can be better than the original, like The Bourne Unitanium. How to Train Your Dragon 2 is actually one of those sequels that's not only as good as the original, but better. Before I get into the movie, let me recap my thoughts on the first movie. Now, I wasn't so excited to see How to Train Your Dragon because I thought it would have that same, E.T. story where the kid makes friends with his pet and then he hides it from his friends and family. It has the same similar story, but it actually has a lot of heart put into it. What makes this movie great are the characters, the grand epic scale, the story, even though it's not original, but it's still very good, the locations, the different designs of the dragons, and of course the animation. This movie also shows that dreamers can do more than just mediocre family movies. Now getting into the second installment, let's talk about the plot. 5 years after the first movie, Burke is living in peace with the dragons, while Hiccup and Toothless goes out to find more places and islands to find. But when there's an evil villain, Drago, who plots to take over the dragons by using the alpha male dragon to take control of all the other dragons to take over the world. Hiccup has to stop Drago from his evil plans, but alongside of that, Hiccup meets a strange, mysterious character who reveals herself as Hiccup's mother. Whoa! What a shock! And I mean it! What a shock! What makes this movie so much better than the last one is the story. It takes much bigger and higher stakes from the first movie. Which, that's what all great sequels should do. Other than rehashing the same story over and over again, they went out by moving along with the story. Most sequels would usually rehash the original movie's story, and usually it doesn't work, because the first movie already did it, and it would actually make the sequel kind of boring to watch because it would be predictable. You need new, big, or fresh ideas to make it feel different from the original, but still keeping it faithful. And that's what this movie did, keeping it faithful to the first movie. The characters are still as lovable as the first movie, but this time aging to their teenager years, like Hiccup, which is really cool to show our main character going through the changes and becoming more responsible, from dorky but charming 12-year-old boy to a responsible teenager. Toothless is also still such a fun, enjoyable character, as much as the first movie. He's cute, funny, and of course, a cool, badass flying dragon. The friendship between Hiccup and Toothless is much stronger than the last movie. In the first movie, they were introduced, but in the second, they knew each other so well they actually both go through all the consequences together, which it makes us really care for them as they go along with their journey. The other characters are still funny and good too. Astrid is still a fun character, and the relationship between Hiccup and Astrid is still very believable, making them one of the cute couples of an animated movie. The side characters are still funny, but when actually some of them going through changes, they actually go through more hilarious story arcs. The voice actors are still great. Jay Baruchel is a great voice actor, and Cate Blanchett is actually one of my favorite actors in this movie. She sounds like she's having fun with her role, playing as a person who understands the dragon ways. The animation is beautiful. This is one of the best animation I have ever seen since the decade of animated movies. Everything looks like if it was shot in real life, except the characters are looking cartoony, which isn't a bad thing. But if you look at the scales of a dragon's skin, it looks like there's real scales. Or if you looked at somebody's clothing, you can actually see the detailed fabric, leather, or wool. The cinematography is outstanding. It looked like if someone was up there in the skies filming the flying scenes. The 3D shots are the best. I don't usually see 3D movies because I just think 3D is just an expensive gimmick. Because most movies are converted to 3D because money. It makes it distracting and there's just nothing spectacular about converted 3D. But with this movie, it was made for 3D. All the 3D shots looks great. I mean, they're actually popping out of the screen. In fact, it made my family thinking that we should get a flat screen TV for this movie. 3D flat screen TV. Yeah, now my family is probably gonna get one. But that's awesome! Now, since this is a great movie, it does have one problem. The villain, Drago. I mean, he isn't all interesting. I do like his evil plans and I like his design, but his backstory wasn't very interesting. He's just a villain who wants revenge of Berg and just wants to take over the world with Dragon. Just a simple villain, unfortunately. But overall, I love this movie. I love the story, I love the characters, I love the higher stakes, I love the animation. This comes out as one of the best animated movies of the year, even better than the Lego movie, and of course, one of the best animated sequels in years. Or at least since Toy Story 3. I will give this movie a rating of an A. Great movie. So, my ultimate question today is, what do you like better, the first How to Train Your Dragon or the second? Comment down below, check out my other videos, they're really cool. Like to subscribe, like my page on Facebook. See ya.